I've been eating bananas because he said they were alkaline and now you're saying they're acid. What's going on? Different alkaline food charts are different. It's annoying, isn't it? It's really confusing, and I'm here to try and clear up the confusion. This is one of the most common questions, dare I say it, angry, frustrated emails that I receive on a daily basis. Why are the food charts so different? And they're not different for any nefarious purpose. No one's trying to trick you. However, the background of the data, of the logic, of the reasoning as to why people put different foods into the different categories of acid versus alkaline are different based on the different food chart that you look at, based on the different website. It's really quite simple. The most important point to start with is not whether a food is acidic or alkaline. Sounds weird? The distinction here is we're looking for foods that are acid forming to your body and alkaline forming to your body. Now, there are several ways that foods have been measured in the studies, in the data, in the scientific community to conduct their studies on an alkaline forming diet-induced acidosis. There's thousands of studies, and these studies are primarily using two databases to assess whether the diets in the subjects, the people in their studies, are eating an acid or an alkaline forming diet. PROW, potential renal acid load, and NEAP, net endogenous acid production. These are both really, really useful, but they don't say the whole picture on their own. And they're primarily looking at what is the pH of the food in nature, not what happens once you consume it. We need to overlay that information. And this is why, for instance, some alkaline food charts are saying things like dates and oranges and pineapples and these quite high sugar fruits are alkaline forming, when in the reality, the fructose level, the sugar level of those foods does tend to lead them to be more acid forming. They're not terrible. You don't have to avoid fruit. That's a video for another day. However, because the mechanism by which they're evaluating their acidity and their alkalinity is to burn the food down to an ash residue and then measure the pH of that ash, the sugar intake, the fructose content of that food isn't being taken into consideration. So when you consume that food, it's actually mildly acid forming to your body, even though it can be alkaline forming in nature. We have to look at and overlay the impact on the body once it's been consumed. We also have to overlay the effect that it has on our blood, and we can see this using live blood microscopy. So this is another overlay onto should a food be in the alkaline or should it be in the acid forming chart. But ultimately, guys, if you've got the wrong chart and you've been eating a bit too much fruit or a bit too much of these other foods that are seen as alkaline forming and some acid forming and the others, as long as you are focusing your diet around leafy greens and salads and loads of different vegetables and ideally the lower sugar fruits like berries and healthy fats, and if you're focusing your diet there and you're eating a bit of these foods that should be on the acid forming but these other charts have sort of classified them as alkaline, don't stress. We have to look big picture. We have to look at the biggest things that are going to give you the biggest bang for the buck with your health with the least amount of effort, and not get too bogged down in the detail. No one is supposed to be trying to be perfect. You should never try to be perfect. There's always wriggle room for little mistakes, but also for going out on a date with your loved one, your spouse, for having a cheat meal, for meeting friends for a brunch. You never have to be perfect. Never try to be perfect. Allow yourself those treats. Life is meant to be enjoyed as well. So at the end of the day, there are differences in the alkaline food charts. If you do want what I consider to be the most accurate acid alkaline food chart, the link to mine is below this video. It's got 450, maybe more foods on it that are classified from highly alkaline, mildly alkaline, neutral, all the way through to the steps of strongly acidic forming. It's got loads of recipes in there. It's got loads of get started stuff about living alkaline in there. You can download that. It's right below this video. But again, I don't want you to get bogged down in detail. I don't want you to stress about the minutiae and worry that, oh, this person's chart said that, but this person's chart said that. Just focus your diet mostly on lovely leafy greens lovely vegetables, the lower sugar fruits where possible, but don't worry about some of the other fruits too if you want those as well. And just be good 80% of the time and thoroughly enjoy the 20% when you're being a little bit naughty. Don't stress, stick to the fundamentals and you will get huge results. I hope that's put your mind at ease a little bit. I'll see you on the next video.